Hey everyone, Aram Bolduc here, coming to you with another episode 2 actually, of Who's on Your Team? There are countless talented people here at Intellisis, and these are short interviews to showcase some of the team members that you may or may not come into contact with on a regular basis that are vital to the success of our organization. We'll cover where the guests came from, what they do day to day, and include a little fun and get to know in the channel community. So today's guest is Trevor Haworth. He is our business development manager specific to Verizon. So hello, Trevor.
Hey, everybody. Hey, Aram.
So to be clear, Trevor is an Intellisis ScanSource employee with a focus on Verizon business. He's not a Verizon employee. So I just want to get that out there because he does we'll get into what he does day to day, but he does specifically work on Verizon, and I think it's important to understand that he is an Intelisys ScanSource employee focused on Verizon, not a Verizon employee. So going into that, so Trevor, tell us a little bit about yourself. We're going to go through some questions here. What was your first job ever?
Yeah, so I worked for a small little nonprofit in the mountains up in California doing clearing fire breaks and trails and stuff like that. This is back in high school when I was like 16, 17. I started working pretty young.
Awesome. So they had just on the borderline of like child labor, 16, 17-year-olds out there.
And some ex-cons hiking into the mountain and manually cutting, those fire breaks you see in the mountains in California. That was us out there with an axe chopping them in.
Wow, that's interesting. So my next question typically is, what's the most interesting job you've ever had? Is it that job or is it something different?
Actually, I've had a lot of crazy jobs that led me to telecom. I think a lot of people in telecom have a similar background story, but I worked as a commercial diver working offshore doing oil field construction stuff for a couple years before I got into telecom. So I think that one takes the cake.
No kidding. Okay. So what was your first job in telecom or technology then?
So I started off here in Houston, Texas at CBeyond Communications, the little company I'm sure many people have heard of that are listening to this.
Sure. And what did you do at CBeyond?
I was just a lowly sales rep, started from the very bottom and worked my way up to a sales manager there and then kind of continued on the telecom career.
So how did you get to Intellisis?
Yeah, so funny story, it kind of all goes full circle back to my days at CBeyond. I worked with a guy who's here at Intellisis by the name of Corey Reitzel, which I'm sure both of our networks are very familiar with. Corey's famous down here in Houston. But when I was at CBeyond, I got my first exposure to the channel when I had a big deal of mine. I was super excited to close, and it got turned in on my paperwork, but with my name crossed out and Mr. Reitzel name wrote in there and turned in with a partner attached to it. And I was like, what is this whole channel partner thing? I want to be a part of that. So Corey and I became buddies, started working on a lot of deals together, stayed in touch ever since, and always kind of worked on different projects together. When this opportunity came up at Intelisys, I was really excited. And Corey was kind of a guy who helped teach me more about Intelisys and get me excited about the company.
Cool. The old ink wins. Right?
Yeah, so. It was a tough lesson to learn at the time, but a good lesson, and kind of led me to the whole career, led me down the channel path from there. So thank you, Corey, for stealing that deal from me.
Cool. So two-part question. So how long have you been with us at Intelisys now, and what do you do day to day now?
Yes, I'm going on my second month here. And like you were saying at the beginning of this, sometimes it's confusing for partners whether I work for Verizon or not because I'm so intertwined in Verizon business on a daily basis. And my job is to help our partners make it through the Verizon ecosystem with their deals, help their partners or help their customers, whether it's pricing quotes, back office, order management stuff, whatever a partner needs when it comes to Verizon to make the process smooth and get to that, ink wins. Again, that's my job.
Great. And what would you say is your favorite part about working here at Intelisys?
Honestly, it's got to be the people here at Intelisys. I love my team. I have an awesome team of back office order people that are handling all our quoting. They make me look like a rock star, and they're amazing. Also getting to meet all our national channel managers across the country. Just really interesting, fun group of characters, including yourself. That's a lot of, makes my day interesting on a daily basis.
Cool. All right. So we'll get into a little bit of some personal questions. We won't go too deep into personal, but, so let's start off with simple ones. Like, what city and state do you actually live in?
I'm in Houston, Texas. I'm a transplant, born and raised in Southern California, but I've been out here for about 7 years now, and I love it.
Little fun fact about Houston, for those that are watching this, if you were to take the Houston map in outskirts and suburbs of Houston itself and lay it over the top of Connecticut, where I live, it's about the same size.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
It's like 2 hours across the city, if you're depending on what suburbs you're considering.
Yeah, and Connecticut's 2 hours across, so it's pretty interesting. So in no specific order, what are your top 3 favorite movies?
Ooh, I'm gonna have to go Forrest Gump, maybe Reservoir Dogs, and I'll throw a new kid one out there because I've got a 7-year-old, and kind of the whole Corona thing. The last movie we got to see in theaters was Onward, and we really enjoyed it. So I'll throw that in as a recent top 3.
Cool. So you got a Tarantino movie, you got a ping pong and war movie sort of mixed in with some
full spectrum.
Good stuff. And Onward is, for those who haven't seen it, Onward in my mind, because I also have kids, is like it's like the brother movie of Frozen, right? Like Frozen's about, sisterly love, and Onward's, I don't want to put too much of a spoiler, but it's a little bit about brotherly love at the end there. Right?
Dad stuff gets me too. Any dad stuff in movies, I'm just a softie.
Cool. So when you're in a great mood, sun's shining, you're driving in your car, what music's playing?
Ooh, I'm going to have to go with Mark Morrison, Return of the Mac, kind of the ultimate 90s hip-hop vacation song.
Okay. All right. And favorite type of food?
I'm going to go Mexican food. A lot of people don't know this about me, but I'm actually half Mexican, so basically like 90% of the food I eat is Mexican food.
So that's 2 votes for Mexican. Gianni Castaldo, who was the interview last week, also said Mexican, and my follow-up question to that was, is it real Mexican or Taco Bell at 11:30 Mexican? Right, like so. I'm
gonna go with Grandma's Mexican. So my grandma, obviously, she's got a special place in my heart for the best Mexican food.
Cool. So I know that you're a hunter and a fisherman.
A little bit.
What's the most, going to food, still staying on the food topic, what's the most interesting thing you've eaten?
I had alligator cheek for dinner last night, if that counts.
Okay. All right. And again, I don't know if it's the hunter fisherman sort of thing, but very curious because I'm curious, if you could spend 1 hour one-on-one sitting down at a campfire or 2 Adirondack chairs on a lake, whoever it might be, who would you want to spend 1 hour one-on-one with just having a conversation?
Ooh, man. That's a tough one. Can I go any historical figure, alive or dead?
Yep.
I don't know. I'll go easy. There's a guy named Steve Ranella. He runs a hunting TV show called Meat Eater. A big fan of his. Be fun to sit down and pick his brain on some hunting stuff, I guess.
Cool. So part of our platinum benefits here at Intellisis are when the partner gets to that status, they win a trip around the world for 2 anywhere. So if you were in that situation and somebody were to say to you, hey, Trevor, trip around the world for 2 anywhere, where would you be going?
Oh, man. I've been reading a lot about fly fishing in Russia and the Kamchatka River. That sounds like a lot of fun. I think that'd be a good bucket list trip. And I know we've got some partners that really enjoy fly fishing and outdoor stuff. So hopefully if one of mine gets to Platinum Club, they'll also be one that's into that kind of stuff.
Cool. So then you bring Bear Grylls as your +1 there or what?
Maybe. We'll see who we can get. I don't know if he's available.
Cool. So who is your work husband or wife, meaning, your closest friend and confidant at work?
I'm going to have to go with Beth Garback. She's like my right-hand person. We deal with everything all day together. We're constantly dealing with, fun, challenging stuff. And I get to laugh with her kind of at the end of the day when we're wrapping up and, going over all the craziness that has happened and what we're able to accomplish.
Cool. And just to finish up, is there anything else that you want to mention to those watching, the community, just as a sort of finishing?
Yeah, just say if you're a partner that's not familiar with Verizon, not selling a lot of Verizon, and is interested in kind of finding out about our program, some of the advantages, where we can help your customers, and more than happy to work on challenging, fun stuff like the stuff you like to bring me, Aram. So any partners out there that are interested and want information, just give me a shout. I'm sure Aram will post my contact information after this, and be happy to get you informed and excited about the VPV program.
Cool. So great to have you. Episode 2, sort of in the books here. I've had some feedback on this, and mostly positive, I think. So we're going to continue it and see if we can introduce the community to more Intelisys folks that are supporting our partner with Who's on Your Team. Thanks, everyone.